So, quick introduction. I am Josh, and this is...
I'm Eric. Hi.
And watch out. So Eric is slowly but surely destroying the set.
Yeah. Day one, got to get all the kinks out, right?
Yes.
Break everything.
Just rip all of the sound off the wall. So this is the Dedicated Nation podcast, and we are here to tell you about stuff that is dedicated and nation-ish. So we are both dedicated health trainers, and I am one of the owners of Dedicated Health. This is possibly future, what was it you wanted to be, shareholder or something?
Yeah, I'm slowly embedding it in their brain.
Slowly,
Take over the world.
Just little hints every now and then, just subtle, like, hey, I'll give you $1,000 for 1%.
Did I tell you the other day that someone thought that happened?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll tell you who later. But in the morning when I was in here, someone said something to me. They're like, "Can you make this happen?" And I was like, "I can mention it."
You're probably here enough where it's like,
I know,
you're probably assuming it. So today the way we're going to run these podcasts is the first part of them is going to be a Q&A. So if you have any questions for us, health related, or you just want to know something about us, just pop them in the chat. We'll see them over there and we'll answer them. While we give you some time to sort of get those, we will be telling you fun stories. So first story of this podcast is actually one that I've been wanting to share for a while. It's kind of like the origins of Dedicated Health and how it all sort of came about, because I get asked this quite a bit, and it's a pretty fun story. So basically the way it started was the place that is now Dedicated Health. Have you heard this before too? Or is this news to you too? Okay, so it's news to him too. So the place that is currently Dedicated Health originally was a place called Terre Haute Fitness Center. And everyone who is now an owner, me, John, and Ian, we basically lived here. We came here, we worked out. Me and John were training partners for a long time. And then about probably a year of me working out here, I decided I wanted to become a personal trainer, and I needed a guinea pig. So I used John as a guinea pig because he was kind of sick of training the way he was training. So he wanted to switch things up, and he started trying some of my routines. And because of that, we started hanging out a lot and became good friends. And then there was this place in town called Complete Nutrition. We went in there one day trying to get them their supplements to make them gains. And we ran into the one, the only Ian. We really hit it off with him. He was a great guy, helped us out with a lot of stuff. And he started the idea, so it was actually his idea first, of opening up his own supplement shop because Complete Nutrition was closing, and he brought me on as a partner. So thus Dedicated Health was born. It was originally just a supplement shop, and it was in a little tiny corner inside of Terre Haute Fitness Center. Well, Terre Haute Fitness Center didn't do so great. It started closing real quick. And that's when we're like, hey, we need to buy this place or jump ship. Well, we loved it, so we bought it, and we brought John in with us to help make that ship really soar. And thus, Dedicated Health was born from the ashes. And it was a beautiful, beautiful sight. So that is the birth of Dedicated Health for all you guys who are wondering. Do you have any fun stories to say?
Yeah. So I kind of ended up here on a fluke, actually. Josh made a post, I think it was on Facebook, asking about, like, does anybody train or thinking about training or anything like that? And I didn't know what it was. And I was like, yeah, I used to do this. I do this. It's fun. And we started talking, and then he was like, hey, come here, like, every now and then. I know, I'm sorry, I move a lot.
You're ripping this thing up.
I'm gonna break this hustle is gonna die.
Yeah,
I need a new chair.
He's killing the hustle, guys.
I'm killing the hustle. Sorry. Okay, so that happened, right? And then I was just like, cool, okay, yeah, whatever. And now you guys see me from 5 a.m. to never leaving.
That transition happened fast.
Yes,
you went from 0 to like, I live here now.
Yes.
Really
And
quick.
I still have room, by the way, just saying. Yeah, and I moved down here for AT&T, job with AT&T, you guys know. I knew nobody. Literally no one, not a single person here. And now I have a massive family of friends that, you know, are wonderful people. And if you guys are watching this, listening to this, and you haven't, you know, you're part of the nation, but you haven't been to our gym yet, get in here. That's all I have to say. My family's 3 hours away, and I just said, as you guys know, I had a pretty big shoulder surgery. A month ago? A little bit less than a month ago, and would not have made it through it if it wasn't for these people. So I don't know. That's why I'm here, I guess.
Also, like,
So, yeah.
what, 95%, 97% range of motion?
98 in 3 weeks.
98%.
Yes, we go back on Thursday. We're gonna find out if we're good to go.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
You just gotta put the work in. That's it.
Yeah, that and like be patient, not try to go deadlift like 3,000 pounds on day one, which I know a lot of people who go and do that. So we haven't had any questions pop up in the comments yet. So if you have one, feel free to list it. But I did have a question pop up on our Facebook whenever I posted this. It was actually from Tammy. And she had a pretty good question. It was, and I want your insight on this too.
Mm-hmm.
If you have like say a cheat meal or a day that you go over on calories, should you eat less the following days to make up for the surplus the day before? Now, I've seen science going both ways, and I have my own opinion, but I want to get yours first.
No.
Okay, we're in agreement.
It's that simple. So if you train with me, you hear me talk about the word moderation a lot. Just because you're over one day, one meal, it's not going to destroy everything you've done. People get that misinterpretation of, oh, if I have a cheat meal, everything, I'm going to ruin everything, and all my gains are going to go away, blah, blah, blah. Guys, bull crap. it's bullshit.
False.
Yes, 100%. We do it. I mean, I'm back to being as strict as I normally am. He's, all of us have goals, but you got to enjoy life. When you take the fun out of that and you think like, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds, so I'm going to stick exactly to this diet. I'm not going to do anything. I'm never going to go out. I'm never going to eat this. I can almost guarantee you 98% of the time you will fail.
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's also, I also just compare it to like batting. Like I'm not a big baseball fan, but if you have someone who does amazing 80% of the time, like he hits that ball 80% of the time, he's a Hall of Famer. So why would nutrition be any different? Like why would you want to get 100% if 80% is going to get the job done amazingly and you don't have to hate your life? Like tacos are great, guys. Like I want to eat tacos. That's not going to end anytime soon just because of me trying to reach my goals. Like I can definitely have what I want. I can have my cake and eat it too, kind of deal. And the idea of basically starving yourself to make up for one day has never made much sense to me because your body wants to reach like equilibrium. It wants to find a balance. And if it's used to eating a certain amount of calories and you go over one day, yeah, that's going to be a little weird for it. But why would you continue to mess with it by eating less the next days? That's like saying you need to run on oil instead of gas kind of deal. Like it doesn't, it's not going to help you any.
Think about it this way. So let's say that, I'm just going to throw out random numbers. Let's say that your daily goal is 2,500 calories a day, right? You're keeping yourself in a deficit. So you're burning 2,800. So you go out, friend's birthday. Okay, so for instance, I went and got pizza last night, right? And I'm back to my normal five meals a day, sticking to it. But I wanted to go get pizza with someone last night. So I went and got pizza, we got a little one. So I didn't map it or didn't record it because I'm horrible right now. But so let's say that if I'm eating 2,500 every single day, and then yesterday I ate 3,000, right? My body is still, even after that one meal, adjusted and used to that 2,800 burn, so that 2,500 intake. So if I kick it today and I was like, oh, I got to make up those, I ate more. So I'm only going to eat 2,000 calories today. But then I want to output. So then I'm still burning 2,800 and I'm way over surplus. So I'm just in a major deficit. Your body gets hungry. So it's going to start attacking areas that you don't want it to attack. And you're just throwing your balance off. So enjoy your cheat meals. I mean, look at The Rock. He gets a whole day. Yeah. He goes nuts. Like
his cheat meal is my week's worth of calories.
Yeah, and he does it all day too. He talks about Sundays. He's like, I had what I remember one post he made. He was like, my kid wanted ice cream, so we had mega ice cream 3-layer sandwiches for breakfast at 8 a.m. I mean,
his sushi sushi binge was crazy. It was like a table the size of this, if not bigger, just littered with sushi all over it. It was pretty gorgeous.
I remember that.
Like it was enough sushi for an army, but it was still amazing.
His burger post always cracked me up. Yeah. He's like, I had a burger. It's like 7 different burgers.
Yes. Or his pancakes. It's just setting him with a stack of pancakes as tall as he is. Just like, yes, I'm going to eat all of these.
We should do that. We should do like a pancake breakfast someday here.
Dude, I would smash some pancakes. They are literally my favorite thing ever. I love them with a burning passion.
We'll never do pizza and bagels though. Don't worry, guys.
True.
Shout out.
And we won't ever paint our gym purple. Just,
We turn the alarms off.
We're so against alarms. We don't even own them. No, not a single alarm. Looks like we don't have any more questions. So we're actually going to do a little bit of a swap out. We're going to trade the lovely Eric for the also lovely John. And we're going to cover the main topic of today's podcast. So give us just a little bit of an intermission and we will be right back.
I will miss all of you. I'll see you next week.
The topic of the day is comparing yourself to social media peoples. So this would be for an example, finding like a really buff dude on the internet and being like, wow, I want to look just like him, 100% like him. And then being upset because that buff dude on the internet is probably airbrushed as heck and not actually how he looks.
Yeah, filters are the enemy. Everyone's on filter and they make you think you look like shit.
Yes, it is so disheartening to like, it's okay to have motivation. For example, like Arnold, he motivates all of us and he does look pretty dang good. But the downside of that though, is whenever you get to the point where you're trying to compare yourself to them and like trying to judge your results on how close you look to that person, there's a lot of things that go wrong with that. Like he just said, the filters, a lot of those people are only taking pictures at like the best possible times.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, you can atone to this lighting.
Oh yeah, lighting is amazing. And again, the best possible times. A lot of those people who act like they're, just regular people, these Instagram models and whatnots, are actually, there are a lot of people that do shows and things like that. So they're doing crazy dieting for a certain amount of time to look like that. They don't look like that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They're just taking a ton of pictures while they look like that. I myself did that. I don't look like I did when I did my shows. But yeah, you can't compare yourself because it's not a sustainable way to be in the first place.
And like camera angling is a big part of it too. Like for example, I think you mentioned this before, you'll see a picture of someone and then you'll see him at the Arnold and they'll be like half the size.
Oh yeah. There's a Lee Priest he's a famous bodybuilder. He's huge, like just insanely huge. And then I saw him at the Arnold and he only comes up to here. He's still a big dude, but it kind of makes you feel a little different about it.
Yeah, it's amazing how what is the saying? I've been trying to think of it this whole time. I've been stalling for it. It's like, don't aim for your stars or something like that, or don't try to.
I know, don't ever meet your heroes.
Oh, don't ever meet your heroes.
You'll be
That's
disappointed.
What it is.
Yeah.
Don't ever meet your heroes. It's the same deal. Like you get this idea because you get this snapshot of people's life and think that like, oh, it's this amazing thing. Oh, they just walk around with these amazing abs all year long. There's never a point when they don't look good. And then you're kind of just crushed because you have that expectations of yourself. And I can guarantee you right now, like us sitting down, like it does not look like we have amazing abs when we're sitting down. Not at all. Like if you can see our abs at all, we're happy. At least it's like first thing in the morning, you haven't drank any water.
Oh, that's the best time.
Yeah.
Always, if you do want to trick the internet, that's when to take your pictures, right when you wake up.
Exactly. I really wish that like more like big names on Instagram and stuff like that would take more pictures, like just candid pictures to let people realize like, hey, like, yeah, I look good, but I don't look that good all the time.
Well, Dylan back there, one of our regulars at the gym, he was showing me this app that he has, and it literally, like, you can just make different, pick and choose and make different muscles bigger on your picture. Like, and it looks legit. Like, and it's like this easy app to use. And it's like, holy shit. Like,
yeah,
I couldn't believe it.
It's ridiculous. There's so many, like Photoshop now, like you can make yourself have like the Disney princess curves if you wanted to, or look like Gaston or whatever you want to look like. You can literally be anyone you want to with the power of the internet.
Well, TikTok's got that now. Every girl on TikTok has luscious lips, like big luscious lips, because there's a filter that does it.
Yeah, I forgot you were talking about that the other day. Everyone looks so exotic.
It's evil. It's evil.
You have no idea what anyone actually looks like anymore. The trick to this though is you really want to like, you can use that stuff for inspiration, but whenever you're like comparing for progress, you really can only compare yourself to yourself. So whenever you can't look at like some amazing Instagram celebrity who's done everything in the possible universe to make them look good and then think, oh, I need to compare my progress to that. Your best bet is to really like buckle it down a bit, take some progress pictures of yourself and compare that throughout the stages of you trying to get in shape. Because if you compare yourself to someone else, especially someone who's very photoshopped or airbrushed up, you're never going to be satisfied.
And on that same note, when you do that, because there's such a big difference with lighting, you have to use the same lighting yourself. Otherwise, you're going to make yourself feel bad because this picture you took it in really good lighting, and this next picture you took it in really crappy lighting, and well, I haven't done anything. Well, I look worse. But no, it's lighting makes that much of a difference.
It really does. You can take the same picture in the same room, but just be a couple feet away from the mirror or just in a slightly different angle, and it'll be different. So you gotta stay consistent with these pictures. And the other thing, whenever it comes to that stuff, like comparing yourself to big social media people, to be honest, everyone's different. Like the way they're made up or the way they're built is going to be different from the way you're made up and built. So you can't really, it's like comparing apples and oranges. Like some people are going to naturally be able to put on more muscle, put on more size. Some people are not going to be able to do that as easily. That doesn't mean you can't, but that means it's just a little bit more difficult for you. And you can't just assume like, because there is people out there that look that way, that you are not going to be good looking unless you look that way too. You got to be comfortable with the fact that like, it's going to take you a little bit longer. You might not be as big or as lean as some people are, but you can be the best version of you that you can be. And that's freaking amazing. Like I know some people who's been training for years and they look great, but naturally, like their natural build, they're naturally smaller, leaner, or they're naturally bigger and broader. Just sort of the cards they were dealt in a way. Like I'm not going to be as big as him. It's just I'm not going to be.
I won't let him.
Anytime I start to get bigger, he
his hand.
smacks me, knocks the weight out of my hand. It's just it's just the truth of the matter. And it sucks in some ways, but in a lot of ways, like it's something to be proud of. Like I am a hard gainer. I do not gain easy. And every little bit of size that I put on, like I worked my butt off. I fought tooth and nail, and he worked really hard for his too. He actually started off fairly small too. He was probably bigger than I am at my age, but still.
How big are you? What's your weight?
I'm 150.
150. So yeah, I was larger than you, but still couldn't gain weight to save my life.
Yeah, and it's really a journey. Like it takes time, it takes effort, and it's not going to be the same for anyone. So to compare yourself to someone else, like if I was comparing my progress to how John looks now, which admittedly I do sometimes, I'd be really sad, which admittedly I am sometimes. And it's just not fun.
Well, on a side note of that, you also compare yourself to Athlean X.
Yeah.
And there's body dysmorphia is real. You truly do not know what you really look like to everyone else. Especially as you make progress. Even if you notice a little progress yourself, you're still never going to realize how far you've gotten. He all the time, like Athlean X is his favorite, like physical trainer.
Yeah. YouTuber.
But I've seen many times a year where he actually looks better than him and he's still aspiring to look like him. And it's like, you're already there, bub.
Actually, Tammy Lambert did something like that. She sent me a picture of this lady's arms. It was I think Diana Lynn Bailey or some. Yeah. I always just call her DLB because I can't talk. Doob. And she wanted to look like her. And her goal was to reach those arms. And she took a picture in the mirror the other day and she's so freaking close. She doesn't see it ever, no matter who says it, but her arms are looking amazing. She's doing great. And it's just one of those things where like, I think even if we were to reach the body type we want to reach, we wouldn't see it anyway.
No.
And I think the Instagram people that we were just talking about, they're probably the same way.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
They probably look at themselves all the time and be like, man, my arms are so small. Yeah. And they got like 24-inch arms.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, especially like people in the gym, they always make the joke like how they're arrogant people. But really, people in the gym are typically the most insecure people you ever meet.
100%. If you see someone who's willing to push themselves to the limits to look the way you want to look, they didn't do it because they already look good.
Right.
They did it because they thought they looked bad.
Yeah.
It's a very sad and harsh reality that it's a hamster wheel.
And most of them, even though they'll feel like they look good, on one hand, and then at the other hand, they'll be like, oh, I'll never be where I want to be. It's a constant. I'm personally like that. Always have that struggle where I always feel like you forget who you are because you don't see yourself in the mirror all the time. You don't. And when you look, it is just a progress picture. So you're not seeing yourself with other people. You don't really, you don't notice things. You just don't.
It's so easy to really miss out on like how much progress you made and how good you look. And that's why those progress pictures really are like the best way to keep up with how you're looking, because it's the only way to really notice change. Because when you see yourself on a daily basis, but you only see yourself like at that moment, you don't think about where you were at. It's so hard to really see the changes because you're seeing that day to day and you're only comparing yourself to you right now. And progress is slow. So you don't see like, it's not like you wake up one day and have abs. It's like you slowly get it over time. So that's why taking those progress pictures, if you take a progress picture now, 3 months from now, if you train hard, you're going to notice those differences. And that's good. That should be the motivation, is keeping track of where you're at, how you look, what kind of stuff you're doing, and using that to drive you versus using some person on the internet that probably started long before you've seen them on the internet to look the way they look, and might just like, it might come a little bit easier for them, and they have all those amazing tools to play with to make themselves look better. So that's really the meat and potatoes of like what I was trying to get across. Compare yourself to you. Don't compare yourself to the amazing Colin Von Mauger or someone along those lines, because it's not a fair battle.
That's the one I want to look like.
Yeah, me too. But I'm also like several inches too short.
I am too, actually.
Yeah, the dude's massive.
That jerk.
How could he do this?
Ridiculous.
You know what? I take everything back. I said we need to knock him down a notch.
See, that's the key. Instead of worrying about how you feel, just destroy your enemies.
Yes. Take everyone else out, and then you'll always look better.
That's genius.
Okay,
yeah.
We found the solution to this, guys.
We're done. That's exactly what it is now.
Well, I think that pretty much sums up our first podcast. Do you have anything else you want to add in?
No. I mean, got to get on that venture to get Callum. So
yeah, we got to figure out where he's at right now. He's probably moving around. So I want to say sorry for the technical difficulties at the beginning of this. It's our first one. They'll be better. We plan on doing these quite frequently. We'll have a schedule up soon. But it was pretty fun. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to see in the next podcast or something you'd like us to cover, feel free to comment below and we'll definitely have that up for you. But until next time, thank you guys so much for watching and stay dedicated.